Classical scholars and saints of Islam. Throughout the ages, Muslim societies produced great scholars of different Islamic disciplines, but none of them had the honor to be called the greatest Imam, except Imam Abu Hanifa. Let's learn about his life and see what made him the greatest Imam, or so-called the Imam al-A'zam. Nu'man bin Thabit, known as Imam Abu Hanifa, some say that he got this name because of his devotion to Islam, because Hanīfa means inclined to the pure faith. He used to perform the dawn prayer, Fajr, with wudu of Isha prayer for about 40 years. He was given the title of the peg by some for his continuous standing in prayer, often reciting the whole Quran in the night prayers. Imam Abu Hanifa was born in the city of Kufa in the year 80 Hijrah, corresponding to 699 according to the Gregorian calendar. Imam Sha'bi was one of those who inspired Imam Abu Hanifa to pursue his path to Islamic knowledge. He studied under some of the greatest scholars of his time, such as Imam Muhammad bin Sulaiman, Imam Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, Imam Qatada bin al-Nu'man, Imam Ata bin Rabah, and many others. He mastered all the Islamic disciplines, in particular that of the fiqh, the Islamic jurisprudence, in which he became the most prominent jurist of his time and the years to come. Among his famous students was Imam Abu Yusuf, Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani, Imam Zafar, and Imam Dawood al-Ta'i. Imam al-Shafi'i said, "All men of knowledge are children of the ulama of Iraq, who were the disciples of the ulama of Kufa, and they were the disciples of Imam Abu Hanifa." In another instance, he mentioned, "All men of fiqh are Abu Hanifa's children." What made him the greatest Imam? Somebody may ask a question. To answer this question, it may take a long time, and there may be many reasons why he was called Imam al-A'zam, or the greatest Imam. I can mention two important things though. Number one, his righteousness, and number two, his unique approach to Islamic fiqh or jurisprudence. I can say that Imam Abu Hanifa and the other scholars of his school of thought, and particularly his two students, Qadi Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani, revolutionized the Islamic jurisprudence. Imam Abu Hanifa incorporated reasoning or qiyas in his legal verdicts, and also had a unique way different from the others in utilizing the hadith as a base proof for different acts of worship, ibadat, or other practices. For example, a hadith which is khabar wahid, where somewhere in the chain of transmission contains a maximum of one person narrating that hadith, cannot limit or be used as a condition or shart. Nonetheless, this doesn't mean that it will not be utilized. It will be utilized, but without restricting the first primary source, which is the Quran. For example, the Quran says, فَقْرَوْا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ, referring to the person during the prayer. He or she can read whatever it is easy for that person to be read from the Quran. According to this, Surah Al-Fatiha is not a condition or shart among the conditions of the prayer. Yet, it is wajib according to Hanafis. According to Shafi'is, Surah Al-Fatiha is one of the conditions of the prayer. They base this on a statement of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, who mentioned that there is no prayer without reading Surah Al-Fatiha. Even though this hadith may be authentic, it is still khabar wahid, and cannot restrict the Quranic verse which states, read whatever it is easy from the Quran. Anyways, this was only the tip of the iceberg. There are many other approaches where the rationality, or so-called in Arabic, ra'i, or qiyas, is utilized more and differently from other schools of thought. Anyways, going back to the biography of Imam Abu Hanifa, we can say that he was a humble man, a righteous man, and a just man. The ruler of the time, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, asked him to be the judge of the judges of Iraq, the Qadi al-Quda. By doing so, Imam knew that he had to pass many verdicts on favor of the ruler. Therefore, he rejected the offer. When asked why, he mentioned that he was unfit for the job. Upon hearing this, the ruler accused him of lying, to which the Imam responded, "If I'm lying, then my statement is doubly correct. How can you appoint a liar to the high post of a chief judge of the state?" Later, Imam Abu Hanifa was imprisoned by the ruler and died by poisoning in jail in the year 150 Hijrah at the age of 70. He died in prostration, and it is reported that he had recited the whole Quran 7,000 times before he passed away. It was said that so many people attended his janazah prayer that the funeral service was repeated 6 times more for more than 50,000 people who had amassed before he was actually buried. It was also said that people continued to gather every day for about a week to offer funeral prayers. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him and with all of us.